given by the board. In this video we will try to cover chapter number 1, which is the basic of an economic problem. In this chapter we will try to cover the nature of the economic problem, the factor of production, opportunity cost, production of possibility curve. So the first topic we have to discuss is the nature of the economic problem. Before moving ahead, we should have an idea about the economics. Remember one thing, economics is the place where you will find producers and the consumers. Producers are those who will produce the product, and consumer are those who will consume that product. If we discussed in a detail, there are some other entities, for example the government entities, who will regulate the whole process, and we have some labor in that process. Labor are those who will be the part of production making process. So the problem of the economics we have to discuss today. If we divide the economics problem, we have a very broad economic problem, and the economic problem is that limited resources and unlimited wants. We have limited resources in our hand, but being a human, we have an unlimited wants. We have divided these problem into 4 different types. The first problem is the scarcity of resources. Whatever we resources we have in our hand are scarce, are limited by the nature. The scarcity of the resources are the inputs basically required for the production of the goods and services. Scarcity basically means that there are not enough resources to produce all the goods and the services which consumer want. Scarcity arises because human wants for goods and services are unlimited, but the resources required to produce them are limited. If we talk about more about scarcity, scarcity means a lack of something. The fundamental economic problem is that the scarcity of the resources to satisfy all human wants and needs, and there are limited resources and unlimited wants. And this could be applicable to consumer, producer, workers and the government, which we will discuss later in this lecture. We have divided the scarcity of resources into 4 types. What kind of resources basically, or the factor of production we have? The first one is land. Land is something natural resource around us. Remember that land is not a physical land, but it includes water, air, mineral, oil and the weather. The next thing we have is labor. The physical and the mental effort of a human, where he put this into the organization or into the production process, and we have a very limited resources of the labor. Physical are those things which a labor put it into the production making process, while the mental labor or the mental approach is something making by the managers in the order to make the organization strategies. So the capital, the third one, capital are those man-made goods that can be further produced or further help in the production activities. For example, machines, vehicles and etc. These are those things which will further help or which further assist the human to produce more goods. The 4 things we have is enterprise. Organize other factors of production and take a business risk. Organize other factors mean whatever the factors we have, land, labor, capital, we will combine them, we will organize them and we will make a new product. And we can use these factors individually, and we can make a combination. In some cases maybe you require just land, maybe you require some labor in a different stereo, or maybe you require land and labor in a combination, and sometimes you just need a capital, or maybe you need land but you don't need labor, and sometimes you need capital and the labor and you don't need land. So all these factors, according to the situation, we will combine them, we will organize them, and then we will try to make a new product or new production. But why I mentioned taking a business risk? Whatever being a producer you are producing, you don't have an idea either it will purchased by, or it will accept by the customer or not. So what you will do, you will organize all the factors and you will make a new product. And but this product of course will be on its risk. The next problem we have is unlimited wants for the goods and the services. Of course human has no limits of their wants. They keep it on they keep on wants and the desire of the goods and services. We have divided this problem number 2 into two parts. What is the needs and what is the wants? Needs, it's something which is necessary for the basic living survival, like for example food, water and shelter. The next things we have is wants. Wants, it's something that is not essential for living, but this is something people would love to have. If I add more term which is desire, so what is the difference between needs, wants and desire? Needs, for example, if you are hungry, so you need food. So this is this food is now your need. For example, you want to check, or you want to taste, or you want to eat, for example, fast food. Now that fast food is your want. Being a basic need is your food, but you want something to try is fast food. And what is desire? You want to try KFC. So this is the difference between need, wants and desire. Needs is necessary for your basic survival. Wants is something you would love to have, and KFC or the desire is something you want to try, or it's your choice. So the problem third, we have alternative use of resources. Whatever resources, land, labor, capital, enterprise we have, we can use them first individually or we can make a combination with each other in the order to produce different kind of a product and services. We can use land, labor, capital, enterprise. We can utilize it individually as well, and we can make a combination as we already discussed. Like in some cases maybe you required capital and labor, you don't require land, and in some cases maybe you required land, labor, you don't need capital, and sometimes you required enterprise as well. So the last issue we have in economic problem is the choices of resource allocation. So this is something which is very critical. So being a producer, you can't produce everything, so you have to make a choice. You think about that what to produce, what are the main things you want to produce and you should produce, and then how to produce, how you will make a combination of the factors of the productions in the order to make a new products, what kind of alternated planning you have for the production of the product, for whom to produce. You can't target everyone. This is something we are talking about, the target population, to whom you will target, to whom you will try to be with them, who will be your customer. You may target sometimes kids, maybe sometimes you target a woman, sometimes you target men, sometimes you target older age people. So this is something you have to decide, that who will be your producer, to whom for you have to produce.